My name is Karen Cooper. I'm Director of Product Marketing here at Totango, and I'm joined by Ravit Danino, who's our Senior Vice President of Product. And we're really excited today to talk to you about all the great things that we've added to the product for 2021. And Ravit's going to also talk to you today about what are some of those good things we have to look forward to in 2022. So with that, I'll turn it over to Ravit.
Hi, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. It's Ravit. It's great to see so many people interested to learn on the great deliverables of last year and what 2022 has in store for us. So with that, let's start. So as Karen just mentioned, we'll share some of the previous parts and some of the futures, and then we'll open it for some Q&A. So last year, we've invested a lot across the product, and I think you all experienced the great deliverables that Totango has. I do want to highlight main 4 areas that we were looking at. The first one is customer experience canvas, where you can vision and visualize your customer journey. You can do everything in one place: design, run, measure, and then drive your specific customer journeys. And we'll see that in a minute. We invested a lot in the campaign designers, providing you more ways to design beautiful campaigns and campaigns that will deliver the message that you would like to drive eventually for your customers. We expanded the way you can manage health in Totango. Till today, you had only early warning systems, and now every customer can choose whether he would like to leverage early warning systems in order to measure health, or the new multidimensional health that is out there. And lastly, we did a lot of investment around your asks. We listened and we want to deliver on your ask within the customer wish list. So with that, let me move to the product and talk a bit about the great innovations we had in 2021. And the best way to show it will be in the product itself. So you can see Totango. That's one of the success block. I was downloading manage onboarding product. I believe many of the people in the call or all of them are familiar with that already. Let's start with looking within the manage onboarding project. What is the journey that a customer will have as part of the onboarding? And all of it can be described very easily in the canvas itself. So I'm opening the canvas, and the canvas gives me a very easy way to visualize the customer journey around the onboarding. I can see the different tracks: kickoff, and then a discovery, implementation. What are the different tracks that I have defined for customer that going through onboarding? And for each one of them, I can see the different interactions that were designed with these customers. All of it obviously came as part of the success block that I was downloading from Totango Marketplace. But you can also go ahead and customize the canvas if you specifically have more needs about your within your company for onboarding. As you can see, I can do everything in one place: design the flow itself, and I can just go ahead and, as an example, in my company, I want to have also training as part of onboarding project. So we'll just go ahead, I'll add a new track, training. I'll just put it in the right place. After doing implementation, I would like to run training in my organization, and I can decide that training will be done through a campaign that will be sent first of all. So I will send welcome welcome to my users campaigns. And now, as you can see, it's very simple. I'm just thinking on the flow. Later on, I will go in and design the individual's campaigns and successfully. But I can design and run and plan everything from one place within the canvas. I can go ahead from here and just choosing one of the campaigns, welcome campaigns, just go ahead and edit it. And now I will get the beautiful new campaign editor that you can experience right now that was delivered as part of 2021 as well. If I will go into this editor, you can see that we enhanced our campaign editor and provided you with the ability to see what you're designing, what you want to deliver to customers, and edit the campaign very easily with the visual feedback that you are getting. I can go ahead and for this campaign, which is very easy to edit, add as an example a CSAT to this campaign. And then very quickly, I will get customer satisfaction within the campaign. I can go ahead and define where this data will be sent into Totango. And you can see it's all can be done in minutes. I don't have to do anything. I could just go ahead as an example and change the settings of this campaign. So I will click here, and in a minute, I can change to different settings of that individual campaigns. All of this can be done very quickly. I can go ahead and add here, as you can see, additional buttons, additional videos. It's very easy to edit campaign and to find the most effective ways to visualize that and go ahead to your customers. If I will go back from this campaign backwards, I'll be able to show you that we also enabled you to leverage multiple templates that Totango delivered. So now, not only that you can design beautiful campaigns, you can use best practices that were created by Totango for multiple templates around campaigns. And you can see here that the list is long and can be categorized very easily by the different campaigns that you want. Campaigns for invitation of new users, welcome campaigns, announcements that I hope you all see that I'm using when I'm communicating to you every 2 weeks, the new announcement from Totango. But all the capabilities exist here out of the box and being built based on best practices that Totango has gathered in order to send campaigns and to communicate effectively with your customers. Another area that I want to make sure we are looking at is a lot of investment has been done in the last year around health, as I mentioned. So I want to start that by going to the marketplace and actually bringing the new health success block that is now offered. Improve customer health success block. So this success block will be added to Totango right now. And within the success block, I have a very nice scorecard that will give me the ability to look on my customer health and what are the metrics that I should focus on in order to improve the health. And as you can see, I did it in one click of a button in a minute. So I can see here in the scorecard exactly what is my overall customer health, the different trends of health in my account, and also the new capability to look on health, not only in one total number, but also look on the different dimensions that build the health within Totango. So in this environment, based on the best practices, we are looking on usage dimension, support dimension, voice of the customer dimension, work dimension, billing and risk. And I can see the individual results for each one of those dimensions within the account. But it's not only that. You can also go to my portfolio, and here I will be getting the health portfolio of my accounts. As always, I can see that around quarter is is red, and most of it is yellow. If I'll click on each one of them, I'll be able to go and see which account falls where, and I will be able to also see the reasons behind the health. So now I can scroll in the My Portfolio widget, and I will get the different reasons that cause the health of my accounts to be either red, green, or yellow. I can always expand on each one of that and get the specific details for risk. So now I see what is the risk score, which accounts falls where, and I'm getting all the details. Now, when I'll go to a specific account, I can get even more details with that. Let's drill down to one of the accounts on this environment. Just as an example, Your Job, it's one of the accounts that I have here. And you can see right now that the health widget within the account profile not only gives me the total health of the account, which is yellow in this case, and the score is 66, but also how was that calculated and which dimensions affect the health of that individual account. So I can just expand on support, and I will see which data points actually contributing to see green health in support. I can see what happens around work, but I can get all the details. So now I have visibility to the global account health, which takes into account the different dimensions and the health of each one of them. So that gives me much more visibility to understand what exactly has been happening. I can see here that right now the multi-health calculation is actually the default for this account. I can go ahead and change it if needed to early warning system and get the calculation based on that. So these are the big 3 areas that we are invested in 2021. And the last area that I want to talk about here is we had a lot of investment around the asks that you had for things that you would like to see in Totango. Totango launched a product wish list last year, and then the product team is looking on the data there, and we are committed to deliver items from this list. Just last year in Q4 in 2021, we delivered 15 items out of the items in the list, and we are basically looking on what are the items that are being requested by most of you. What are the items that will deliver most value for our customers? So with that, I want to continue and go to 2022 and talk about what the future brings to Totango. And I'm going to focus on around 4 areas. Obviously, there are many things, but I want to make sure that we can cover 4 main areas. So the first one is we are giving you more capabilities around customer engagement. How can you engage with your customers more effectively, easily, and make sure that you are meeting them in the right place with the right messages? More capabilities around collaboration. We know, and we always were focused on that. Customer success is not only the customer success team. You want to make sure that you have a collaboration with a wider company. So we will give you more tools to achieve that. Want to make sure that you can connect Totango to your day-to-day environment and make sure that it's been leveraged easily. And lastly, every organization that is out there going through changes. The data model that you defined in Totango actually has a life cycle, and it's been changed from time to time. Want to make sure that we will be able to support those changes easily. So let's drill down a little bit to customer engagement. So by the way, every slide that you will see will have a now part or later. The now or next, sorry. The now are things that we are actually focusing on right now and will be delivered in the next, within this quarter or a little bit after it. The next will be coming towards the second part of the year. So one thing that we want to make sure is that when you're engaging with customers, when you're using Totango tools to engage with them, you're engaging in a way that can provide you visibility to know how effective was this engagement. Was I managed to get the results that I aimed for from this individual campaign? And in order to do that, we are improving and providing more capabilities around the performance of individual campaigns that you can see over here. Would like to provide you the ability to look on performance across the timeline, individual metrics for each one of the campaigns, and give you the ability to see how the campaign performed and where do you need to change your ability, your specific engagement on that individual campaign. The next thing is there's a lot of data in Totango. We are putting a lot of data. We are helping you to drive customer engagement. We are giving you visibility to different engagement, different metrics and numbers around your accounts. How effective will that be if we will enable you to leverage this data to create your quarterly business review or executive business review or any other report that you would like to deliver to your customers? We will be giving you in the next few weeks, actually, the ability to generate those reports automatically from Totango. So you will have templates that will be delivered as part of our best practices within every success block, and you will be able to update, to generate within those templates, the report themselves with all the data from Totango. So what's more, we said that we want to make sure that you will engage in an effective way with your customers. So let's make sure that whenever you are sending them campaigns, those campaigns will be sent during the right windows, during business hours. We don't want to see campaigns that are being sent on Friday when I'm out of the office, Friday night, or during the weekend in some cases. We want to make sure that your organization will be able to control when campaigns will be sent. And we will give you that ability in the next few months. And almost lastly, around engagement, we want to make sure that you will meet your customers and engage with them, not only through emails, but also where they spend most of their time in your application. So we will give you the ability to engage with them within your application by delivering in-application messaging, as well as the ability to communicate with them in the right language. Not always customers are speaking English. There are many customers in the US, but there are many more around the globe that we want to communicate with. We want to make sure that we will communicate with them with their preferred languages, and that will be enabled as well. And we talked about customer journeys. We already gave you a very nice way to visualize the customer journey, to plan it, but we want to do even more over there. We will give you the ability to share your customer journeys with the rest of the team, collect feedback, provide feedback on engagement and performance metric around that in order to make sure that everyone are engaged when it comes to campaigns and success rates. And lastly, almost around the canvas, the customer experience canvas provide you visibility to show a journey, to communicate a journey. But sometimes for the same journey, let's take this example for onboarding in the snapshot here. You want to communicate to different part of the organization, different pieces of the journey. Maybe the onboarding, digital onboarding for some customers, some segment of the market is different from a different segment. We want to make sure that you will be able to visualize the journey in that perspective. We did a lot of work last year, and I talked about it a bit earlier around providing you best practices and more learnings from the industry around how you can do better. What are the right ways to drive specific journeys? We started that area with providing you the marketplace that currently has many success blocks to deliver you the best practices to drive specific journeys. We continue that with the templates that we just saw for individual campaign. And just a few weeks ago, we delivered the objective library that enable you to drive specific objectives, again, based on best practices and share them within the organization. And this is a direction we would like to take across the product in many ways. And you will see that in the next year, there will be more templates that will be delivered around effective way to communicate touchpoint. What is the best way to communicate a one-on-one touchpoint? Or what is the best way, an effective way to communicate an engagement that I had with the CEO of one of my customers' company? So we'll do more around touchpoint templates, and we'll provide you more templates and best practices around the customer experience canvas and around the ability to connect today using webhooks. So that's what many things that will enable you to improve your engagement with your customers and to make it more effective. But that's not all. We want to provide you more tools for integrations. We want to provide you more tools to integrate with capabilities that you already have out there, like emails that you are using or calendar. So let's see what do we have to offer around that. So starting with usage, Totango already have the ability today to bring in product usage, but we want to make sure it will be even easier for you to bring this data. So we are starting to focus, and that will be part of what we are looking at already right now, to enable you to bring instrumentation data, usage data to Totango without intervention of code. And why is it helpful? Because imagine today, if you're looking on a specific data that you would like to connect to Totango, or you would like to bring to Totango, you have to analyze it and then have someone build it into the code in order to collect this data. We want to cancel that. We don't want you to need to work with anyone else or to be dependent in anyone in order to bring this data in. So codeless instrumentation will enable you to highlight what are the areas in your product that you would like to instrument and to bringing all this data independently to Totango. In addition, we know that there are usage tools that all of you are using, marketing solutions that are out there. We would like to make sure you will be able to bring this data to Totango, and integrations with with usage systems like the example we have here, Mixpanel or Google Analytics, will be available as well. In addition to that, we know that you're spending a lot of time in Totango, and we already talked about providing you more best practices and productivity tools around templates. But not only that, we want to make sure that you will be able to connect with your day-to-day office tools when you're working with Totango. So sometimes you want to send emails, you're getting emails, you need to schedule meetings in your calendar using Zoom. You will be able to do all of it from the product in order to make sure that you can focus your day on driving customer success activities. And almost last, we want to make sure that we will provide you more ways to manage your data model. Data model is one of the things you define in Totango when you start work. How the structure of the organization look like, how do you want to map your customers? But these are live things. There's a life cycle that you would like to maintain, and we would like to enable you to drive changes for the data model and in a way decouple the Totango data model from what has been happening in your business. So imagine that each one of you has an organization that might have multiple layers, different engagement, different line of business, different products. And today, in some cases, you are dependent on understanding what is the right way my organization is actually functioning in reality, and what's the best way to go ahead and model it within Totango later on in order to be able to pull the data and to access the data. But imagine that that's not relevant anymore. You will be able to look in Totango on every customer as group of accounts where you can ask any questions. It doesn't matter where do you look for the data, you will always get the last data. So if I want to know, for example, because I have a renewal with Acme, and I want to make sure that I know when was the last engagement, the last touch went with Acme. And it doesn't matter for me where it happened. What matters for me as a CEO is to know when was the last engagement with Acme. Now I will be able to ask those questions very easily and get the data. And this is just an example. You can see here, and for the ones that just joined us to make sure that they understand, we have here as an example, one of our accounts that we are looking at. Contacts right now will be something that you can look at in every area of the product. You don't have to know where those contracts are being measured.